Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Peace Luv Biz with me, your host, Steve Higgins. And this week, we're going to talk about government crackdowns and talking to our resident crackdown expert, Mary Roach. How
Resident
are you
crack
doing, Mary?
something. Amazing.
Well, I didn't know where I was going with that, but it just worked.
As always, or as most times, amazing. Life is good. Following my own advice. That's all I gotta say, really, on that one. Good.
Good.
We have a week till
It's,
Turkey Day. I won't be having
Mhm.
turkey, but we'll be having we'll, do something. But, you know, week till Turkey Day. That means 2026 is literally 5 weeks away, people. 5 weeks.
Yeah. And we are heavily getting into tax planning mode in December. So, first little plug is if you want to do your tax planning, get on the calendar now. Otherwise, we won't have time to see you because it's filling up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But we're going to be talking about government crackdowns, how they're enforcing laws that have been around, and how you can really protect yourselves and your business. There's a lot that's going on with this change in the administration. They are going about things differently, yet legally. And this is kind of the heads up. Yeah, for the most part, how you can protect yourselves the best. So tax codes change every year. Yeah, good. We know that. Yeah. Well, let's start at the beginning because we were talking before this morning and we were talking about how the government and non-profits are still businesses that need to generate cash. And how do you go about doing that? And it's not anything that's new. I was just about to say it was tax code changes every year. That's why the government shuts down from November 30th right the way through to mid-January. Part of that, they've got to update all of that in the software, but they're also cracking down with more IRS audits.
Jaywalking. You're probably not going to get a ticket for it, but could you? Sure, you can. You can, technically. Technically, there's a lot of laws on the books. Technically, if you don't like it, challenge it, change the law. But, people in all the years I've done this, I have never seen people get individual penalties, and they're getting them because they're going back through and figuring out. This is the other thing. They're going back through and going, hey, we've let this slide and we've never charged these people, and we should have been. We've been missing out money. And it's kind of like when you don't, I'm this person, well, not now here where I live, but when I was in the US, I never looked at grocery store prices. Like, I want what I want, I buy what I buy, but I buy the same things all the time. Like, I live on chicken, Red Bull, water, wine, coffee. Like that's my entire, and sometimes rice, not often, some rice and vegetable. I mean, that's literally my diet every day. So it's the same thing all the time. I don't care what the price is, it's going to be what it's going to be. But, if you're buying different things, you're going to look at the prices. You're going to see what is the best deal. And in business, if like you can, in some states, you can charge credit card processing fees. Well, that's a decision, but can you do it? Yes. Obviously, look up what your state law is, but you can charge a convenience fee for taking credit card payments. So if you're not charging it, that's your decision. But you can, and that would be money that you're missing out on. And it's the same thing. The government, oh wait, we can charge them these penalties, so let's start doing it. And so they did,
Yeah. Now, and the point is, yes, you may be getting dinged now on the back end. We always said that you need professionals along the way, otherwise you're gonna get hit when time comes. If you get your stuff in order and get it done the right way, you don't need to worry about this stuff. Definition of integrity is doing the right thing when nobody's watching.
Yeah.
Like, if you operate with that in mind, you don't need to worry about this stuff. Truth is, people will always want to blur the lines and, operate in the gray, probably, to their advantage. So,
well, it's to their
what do people
advantage
need to
to a
get?
certain point, right? Because some people, i.e., want the lowest tax liability, which I get, but they also want to get approved for like a
Yep.
$250,000 loan. Well, or they want to get approved for a $1.1 million home. You can't have a $1.1 million home and qualify for the loan for it and show negative income on your tax return. It's not going to happen. It's just not.
Phrase
You
cake
gotta
and
pay
eat it,
in.
ring any bells? Yeah. Well, Okay, so where businesses get burned the most often, it's not filing taxes, filing them wrong. Payroll mistakes or unpaid payroll taxes, which we've dealt with recently, haven't we? We had a client come to us with a letter saying, hey, you owe this much money in payroll taxes. I was like, well, yeah, that was the correct amount. You need to
Well,
pay that.
no, they didn't even know it was payroll taxes. They just went, "We owe money, and I don't understand what this is for." And I went, "It's payroll tax. You've been running payroll, you need to pay the
Yeah,
tax."
yeah. Well, and then you've got other things like the 1099 versus W2 in certain states that are cracking down hard on the 1099s.
Yeah. And
Um,
we've said, and I love we're discussing this because this is my favorite topic is payroll.
mhm.
Hate payroll more than
Ooh,
life itself, but
awkward.
But again, to your point though, is they're going, hey, when you're paying somebody that's working 40 hours a week, and depending on the state, but I'll say in general, if you have somebody working for you 40 hours a week and you control their schedule, you are telling them what to do, how to do it, when to do it, all the 5 Ws, the whole thing, they're not a 1099. I don't care if you're paying them in a 1099, they are not. They're a W-2. It's like common law marriage.
Mhm.
If you've lived with somebody, whatever it is, 7 years, dude, you can say that's your girlfriend or your partner. That's legally your spouse. You guys separate, it's 50 minimum. So you can call it whatever you want, but if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a damn duck. Like, it is what it is. So, and the thing is, I don't you can call it whatever you want. I'll never advise you to do 1099s. You will never hear that come out of my mouth unless there's really specific things being checked off. What happens is the state, and each state now is picking this up. I can tell you, North Carolina has always been this way. California, yeah. New York is getting this way, Maryland
New
for
York.
sure. But more and more states are realizing, hey, they now owe us all this workman comp coverage and they do workman comp audits. So they start looking at all these things filed because you have to file your 1099s and they go, hey, that's a lot of money that you're paying that person. And you're paying an individual, you're not paying a business. So, let me run this audit. And they go through and they go, you know what? Out of these 15 things, these 12 are really W-2 employees. So they've truly been a W-2 employees for the last 3 years. Guess what? You owe Social Security, Medicare for your half as an employer. You owe state, you owe workman comp coverage, you owe, like, they hit you with thousands of dollars in back taxes because they should have been classified as a W-2 the entire time. Same thing with penalties, same thing with anything else. They're looking at it and they're going, hey, we're missing out money and this could help us. And why are they doing it? They're doing it because the federal government is going, hey, we're not subsidizing all this crap anymore. This is your problem. So it's like if mom and dad have paid your car payment and now you're 25 and you're living on your own and they go, hey, listen, you have a job, you can make your own car payment. What? Guess what? You're not going to eat out every night. You're not going to go to the bar every night. You're not going to go to the club on Friday nights. You're going to start rethinking all of your purchases. And that's what the states are doing. They're going, hey, Big Brother isn't supplementing us in these areas anymore. We need to find other revenue. Well, we're going to find other revenue for this. Others going, hey, we want to get rid of the national debt that exists. I mean, besides the hoo-ha about tariffs, it's looking at government waste. It's not just looking at government waste, it's looking at all the areas that they've missed out charging people. And that's something that and don't get me wrong, and I know I'm kind of taking over the talking, I apologize, but I know he's missing the EQ part, the empathy part. I don't like him at all, but I know better because I don't have a ton of empathy in general for general people. I just don't. But I don't open my mouth to general people. I only talk to people that I really care about. That's why I have you. You keep me in check. Like, Mary, that's probably not the best thing to say. And that's where I know you're
Yeah, and
headed
God
to
bless
is why
LGBT.
you hire the right people. You work with the right people. You partner with the right people. Because I know where I lack. I know where I lack. I lack everything outside of doing accounting and taxes. That's where I lack. Steven's really good at everything.
What I was gonna bring up is what happens though when people come to get that letter in the mail, and I know that we've talked about this forever. That oh shit handle is I'm gonna call Mary and tell her I got a letter. Open the letter. See what it actually says first.
Yeah, and
It could be hey, you're getting a refund.
it's so funny you say that because yes, I do get people that now scan it and email it to me and go, "Hey, can you tell me what this is?" or "Hey, why am I receiving it?" But for years, and I know you know this is why you said it. For years, I would get people calling or texting me and going, "Mary, I got a letter in the IRS." I said, "What did it say?" "Well, I haven't opened it yet." Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Okay. So, and I know that we'll get on to the how to protect yourself, but there's a few other areas that I want to touch on first, which you've dealt with quite a bit, and that is commingling funds. And I'm waiting for you to laugh at that
Well, there was an eye roll.
because
There was a massive eye roll
I
there.
couldn't quite see it. Massive eye roll.
Yeah.
Commingling funds will mess you up.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
I mean, we say it when
The first thing,
we
one of
talk
the
to
first
people.
things when we, yeah, that's what I was going to
Yeah.
say. One of the first things we say to people is, how many bank accounts do you have? Which bank accounts operate solely for your business? What credit cards are for the business?
And then we
Because
ask
you
you,
have
what
to have that separated.
other ones exist that you're funding the business through that are personal?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's not anything that we can't handle, but it's not something you wanna practice. You gotta get away from it. You can't commingle because once you cut that corporate veil, it's open season.
Well, do you want $20 million in IRS penalties, tax evasion charges and going to jail, or do you want to get it done right?
Right.
And the other one I was going to touch on was the missing bookkeeping and the deductions and that type of stuff, which to me is a similar vein because it all comes down to how you manage your books
Mhm.
and your banking.
Absolutely.
The truth is, you get a good accountant that is experienced, knows what they're doing, they will more than likely protect you.
Well,
And what I mean by that is they'll make sure it's done
so
right.
I wanna kinda tweak your words. If you get a good
Yeah.
accountant who is functioning as your CFO, yes, there's a misunderstanding that people think because they pay someone to do their taxes or an accountant to do their taxes, that they're tax planning and they're finding other things. Listen, they're going through all the stuff, but they can't plan if the year's ended. They can't go backwards. The other thing is you may have a bookkeeper, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with having a bookkeeper. Have a bookkeeper. If you're doing $250,000, $300,000 a year in revenue to start off with, and you're growing, and then you're hitting 750 and a million and two and three, you need more than a bookkeeper. You need a CFO. You need somebody to review that. You need someone to make sure that all the things are jiving. Because listen, I know how to change a tire doesn't mean that I know how to fix a car engine. You can literally take a class through QuickBooks and learn how to classify transactions. That's what bookkeepers do. They're classifying bank transactions. That's it. And they're reconciling a bank account or 10, depending on how many you have, right? That's what they're doing. What a CFO is doing is they're making sure all that makes sense, first of all, that it's in the right sections, because not all bookkeepers understand the nuances in different industries. That's for starters. They're looking at the balance sheet and making sure it makes sense. They're looking at the cash flow. They're looking at the AR. They're looking at the AP. And they're doing a review of your finances month over month and period over period. And then they're walking through and budgeting and forecasting and working with you to keep growing your business and what your business goals are. Major difference between that and a bookkeeper.
I've been talking about this a lot lately, in the fact that you don't even need a high school diploma to become a
Mhm.
bookkeeper, and it keeps us busy, keeps me in a job. Protecting yourself, you have to vet the right people too, and I know that's not really part of this list that we have lined up, but vetting who you bring on is huge.
What
You
going
bring on a
we're going
bad
off
controller.
script. I don't even follow the script.
Hey, I'm normally pretty good.
You
I've
are.
got us all the way down to near the end here. I mean, it does say work with
Yeah.
professionals, so I'm still on script, but
Yeah, because I have a problem.
to me, you've also got to be, you do have a problem. But just like your EQ, I keep you on
Yeah.
track. But essentially, you need to make sure that the people you are hiring are qualified to do the job that you need them to do.
Yeah, like
Otherwise, you're leaving yourself susceptible.
Internally, we just did this with cash, not actual cash, our person cash, and went, hey, this is what we consider you doing. Let us know what your future thoughts are for job responsibilities. And so we can navigate that, and we're doing it right now with you and with me.
Yeah.
We pivot. That's the goal, pivoting. And the goal is to make it the most efficient running business. And that should be your goal for your business. So you're not going to hire somebody, I don't know, that has no idea how to do accounting and no idea how to do taxes, even though they do them, and give them a title of CFO. Maybe not do that. And maybe not tell your CFO that you're naming them CFO. Just a passing thought.
Yeah, that was hilarious this week. I'm going to do something different, and I'm going to give a list of 5 things that people need to do to actually protect themselves. First thing is keep clean and accurate bookkeeping monthly, not yearly, so that it's ongoing. You can see where you are. You get your financial reports monthly. You know where your vision of the business is going to be able to go because you have the data to back you up from where you are now. That's huge. Number 2, make sure you get filed on time. Because unless you want to complain about penalties and interest, maybe you should get filed on time. That's the number 1 thing, right? Number 3, we talked about commingling. Keep separate personal and business accounts and credit cards. Whatever you run through the business, run it through the business. Don't do it through personal, or at least tell whoever's handling your bookkeeping and your accounts how you've done it, what you've done it, so they can make the correct adjustments.
For sure.
I'm going to say a word that you really hate right now.
I already know it. Go ahead.
Starts with a P and ends in a roll. Payroll. Have it processed correctly. Not by hand. At the end of the year, don't just issue a W-2 just to say that you got a W-2. Actually have a payroll company or somebody that knows what they're doing with payroll do it. Otherwise, you're leaving yourself wide open. Number 5 is work with professionals. And I know we touched on it before a little bit, but if you're a plumber and you're not a bookkeeper, and I actually know a plumber who is actually an EA. She just got her EA, so congrats to Amber. But if you're a plumber that doesn't know bookkeeping, doesn't know accounting, find the professional. You know pipes,
to
toilets,
that point, all I can
bathrooms.
think right now, because this is the meme going all around right now, is our current administration clearly does not listen to the people around him telling him how to respond. Clearly, because he told a reporter on Air Force One to quiet Piggy. That's what he said to her. Quiet Piggy. And the meme going around is Miss Piggy responding with doing her chop to his picture. Dude, he is doing things differently. They are finding revenue, I guess, in certain areas. He's not an orator by any fucking means. He sucks. Please close your mouth. He talked about fish fillet the other day and how they could add some more tartar sauce to it because that would be better. Why is that coming out of our president's mouth? I don't know. Stick to the script. And that's me saying it. Stick to the script. I don't practice anything. I just skim the run sheet and go with where you're at. But this guy's talking about fish fillet and how more tartar sauce is needed. And he went, and it's really crunchy. What the are you talking about? Stick to what you're good at, whatever the hell that is. Buying Home Depot shit and painting it gold, I guess that's your thing. Whatever. But stick to what you're good at. And trust the people around you. And if you need an example, think of...
Well, and to that end, what is our word of the year? Pivot. And if he was to pivot and follow the script, it changed things. What I would say is, if you're a business owner and you don't know how to pivot, you should be doing a monthly, a quarterly reviews on your business for where you are, where you want to be, what isn't working. You're essentially doing an internal audit on yourself and your business. Then you can pivot, because these reviews and these internal audits and getting a track of everything, it's not about being big brother on the business. It's about protecting yourself and making sure that you're in a better position come tax time, and honestly, just future-proofing yourself. So compliance is protection and discipline is freedom, essentially. Where do we go from here? So the government enforcement isn't slowing down. You need to get ahead of it. Get the right people and plans in place. At the end of the day, putting the structure and the right things in place gives people protection and it keeps you out of trouble. Like that's the whole point of this is there's so much coming down the pike that people are going to get in trouble for things that they wouldn't have been aware of. So being proactive is going to protect people. Don't wait for a penalty letter or an audit to get organized. So build your protection now. So if you guys want to learn how to get better protected, visit peacelovbiz.com, schedule a session with us, and we can help you get the support and guidance so that you can feel safe, stay compliant, and stay in business with peace and love. How's that? Pretty good? So everybody have a happy Thanksgiving, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.